She's an icon, she's a legend, and she is the moment. Now come on now.
Welcome to day 31 of 31 days to internal satisfaction. We made it. It's your favorite host, Coach China T, also known as Arthur China T, and your biggest cheerleader on this healing journey. And baby, we are officially at the finish line, sis. 1 full month, 31 days of deep diving into your mess, your memories, your truth, and finally your magic. Now, I ain't even about to hit y'all with all those reminders because we've already done that. If you've been here, you already know what time it is. If you still need those reminders, baby, you might need to run all of this back. It should be planted in your head by now. So let's jump into what we need to jump into today. The end, the beginning, the end of the healing, the beginning of the new version of you, the grateful version, the satisfied version. Self-love and self-apology, sis. You ready? This one right here, this is the one folks love to skip, the one people tiptoe around, because it's hard to look yourself in the face and say, I forgive you. But that's exactly what you got to do today, sis. It's time. Grab your copy of 31 Days to Internal Satisfaction and turn on over to day 31. Loving self is the key to any healing, sis. When there is an absence of self-love, decision-making is affected. How you see people for who they are is called into play, and how you allow others to treat you becomes a major concern. This goes back to your tolerations and who you allow in your life. The first step in learning to love yourself is to forgive yourself, sis. Going to that mirror and looking at yourself deeply, recalling that apology that you had gave yourself on day one. Understand if you knew better, you would have did better. And if you're ready to accept your apology, then it's time. But if you're not, then you may need to go back through the healing and revisit some areas to get there. Now, are you ready to accept your own apology? See, loving yourself just ain't about massages, vacations, bubble baths, sis. It's a requirement for healing. And when you lack self-love, everything gets foggy. You tolerate too much. You love too hard on the wrong people. You confuse attention with affection. And you stop seeing clearly because the lens you're looking through is full of shame and blame. So you remember day one, when we stood in front of the mirror, you looked yourself in the eyes and whispered an apology. You may not have been ready to receive it back then. That's okay. You made it to day 31, and now it's time for you to decide. You're either going to say, I forgive me, or you're going to admit that I'm just not ready yet. And still, sis, that's okay. Because a lot of times a journey doesn't cause us to be ready that quick. So if you need to do more, then go back and do some more. You've already done the work. Let me remind you just how much work you've done throughout this 31-day process. Because sometimes we get caught up and forget, like, well, what all did we do? Well, you found the root of your brokenness. You called out your flaws and turned those weaknesses into wisdom and your pain into power. You affirmed yourself when you didn't believe a damn word, but you said it anyways. You reconnected with your younger you, the wounded little girl who needed a hug, who needed somebody to say it wasn't your fault. You stared down your mask, took off the fake smiles and survival mode, the good things like that, all those lies. You didn't do that no more. You defined yourself not by who hurt you, but by the vision of your life. You mapped out your passions, built your career blueprint, took another look at that business idea that you kept shelving or one that you're not putting your all to. You mastered your love language, so now you know what you need and how to ask for it without shame. You learn how to break through the chaos, how to meditate, how to quiet your mind and find your safe place. You grieved what needed to be grieved, whether it was a sudden death or the slow death of your old self. You took accountability. You practiced gratitude. You clapped for your own growth even when nobody else saw it, sis. You snatched back your power. You created your limitations. You enforced your boundaries. You looked at that relationship that you swore was so great and broke you, and finally admitted it was never as good as you told yourself that it was. You figure out what kind of friends you need, what kind of friend you are. You put yourself on the self-care schedule, not for luxury, but for survival and peace. You leaned into your support system even when all you wanted to do was isolate. That's a journey, sis. That's healing. That's doing the work. That's not small. That's not basic. That's not something that everybody can or will do. That's growth. That's healing. That's rebirth. So now on this final day, sis, it's time to go back into that mirror. Stand tall, shoulders back. Look yourself dead in the eyes and say, I love you. I forgive you. I didn't mean it and I didn't leave you. Say it and mean it and owe that to yourself, sis. Now, here's the backside of that. If you're not ready, just be honest with yourself too. There's no shame in waiting until you truly feel like you're ready to accept your apology. Just don't stay stuck, sis. The longer you delay your forgiveness, the longer you deny yourself the life you deserve. That's why I said y'all had to the rest of this year. Before this year is out, you better leave behind the confusion, the self-doubt, the begging spirit, and that I'm not good enough lie. You better let that mess die this year if you are not ready to accept your apology. That is what you need to be working on for the remainder. Now, this is not a goodbye, but this is the beginning of the real you. So what I need y'all to do, keep going, keep growing, and keep glowing. Y'all got all the tools. It's time to apply them. And remember, on your worst days, you did 31. That was 31 chances to quit. 31 reasons to say I was tired, but you didn't. You were still here. You were still healing. You're still whole. You're still her. Thank y'all for walking this journey with me. I am so proud of you. Now go love on yourself like life depends on it, because sis, it does.